Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'll be explaining you about expression for discharge through a trapezoidal notch or a weir. So do watch my earlier videos where I've discussed about the derivation for discharge through a rectangular notch, a stepped notch as well as a triangular notch followed by some numerical problems. So in this video let's see how to derive an expression for discharge through trapezoidal notch. Unlike triangular notch and rectangular notch, this is quite easier. Why? Because if you see the cross section of this trapezoidal notch in the figure, you can see the portion ABCD is a rectangular portion, and you see the portions FAD and BCE. So if you combine FAD and BCE, two halves, they form a triangular portion, right? So a trapezoidal notch derivation is quite simpler because it's just the addition of discharges through a rectangular notch as well as a triangular notch. So the discharge through one rectangular notch plus one triangular notch will give you the discharge through a trapezoidal notch. So this is how your trapezoidal notch generally looks like. So this is what is our notch and this is what is our figure. So the middle portion represents a rectangular portion, and this half and this half, when you combine both of them, it looks like a triangle. So that's why for deriving expression for discharge through a trapezoidal notch, we generally add a rectangular portion with a triangular portion. So that's what is written here. A trapezoidal notch or a weir is a combination of a rectangular and a triangular notch. Okay, hence the discharge through trapezoidal notch will be the summation of discharge through rectangular plus triangular notch. So let according to this diagram, so let h is the height of water which is flowing over the notch, and L is length of the crest portion, and since I am telling that the discharge through trapezoidal notch is a summation of rectangular and triangular portion, let the coefficient of discharge for the rectangular portion be some CD1. So rectangular portion in this figure is ABCD, and also let CD2 be the coefficient of discharge through the triangular portions, both FAD and BEC. So you can see FAD and BCE. So if these two you combine, it becomes one triangular notch. So let the coefficient of discharge of that part be some CD2. But remember, it may not be CD1 and CD2 all the time. Why? Because we generally make the trapezoidal notch with the same metal. So we can expect the same coefficient of discharge. But let's assume for time being that there are different. We are trying to assembly, or we are trying to combine a rectangular and a triangular notch. Hence, let's say that there is CD1 and CD2. So according to our formula for discharge through rectangular notch, what's the formula for discharge Q? It is CD into 2 by 3 into L into root 2G into H power 3 by 2. So since here for rectangular portion I am taking CD as CD1, this becomes CD1. So let this be Q1. Similarly, when we are combining two triangular portions FAD and BC, we are telling that it is becoming one triangular notch. Two halves are becoming one triangular notch. So discharge the triangular notch is given by the formula Q equal to CD into 8 by 15 into tan theta by 2 into root 2G into H power 5 by 2. So again for triangular portion, since I am considering CD to be CD2, our Q2 will be 8 by 15 into CD2 into tan theta by 2 into root 2G into H power 5 by 2. Therefore, discharge through trapezoidal notch. What did I tell you? What is the discharge through trapezoidal notch given by? It's sum of rectangular plus triangular. So it's Q1 plus Q2. So just add Q1 and Q2, and that's this bigger formula. So this formula gives you, or this equation gives you, the expression for discharge through a trapezoidal notch. But you need not memorize this bigger formula. Why? Because generally once you do the problems related to trapezoidal notch, you can just calculate Q1 separately, Q2 separately, and just add both the values. That's sufficient. So need not remember this bigger formula unless until if you remember the formulas for rectangular and triangular notch. So I have a problem for you. So read the problem. Find the discharge through a trapezoidal notch which is 1 meter wide at the top and 0.40 meters at the bottom and is 30 centimeter in height. The head of water on the notch is 20 centimeter. Assume CD for rectangular portion as 0.62 while for triangular portion as 0.60. So there is a trapezoidal notch given to us whose width on the top, means the complete top width is 1 meter and the bottom width is given as 0.40 meters, which is nothing but our length of the crest, and is 30 centimeters in height, means the complete height of the notch is 30 centimeters. It is not h, so people generally get the first confusion here. It's not completely, he didn't tell you it's head of water over the notch, he told it's the height of the notch. So the complete height of the notch is 30 centimeter, but not small, capital H. What is capital H? Head of the water over the notch, which is 20 centimeter. So H is 20 centimeter, right? So don't get confused for 30 centimeters with 20 centimeters, right? So H is 20 centimeters and CD1 is given 0.62 for rectangular portion and CD2 is given for triangular portion. Alright, so now let's start off with the given data. First you need to draw the diagram as usual. So top width AE is, the complete top width is given AE 1 meter, base width CD, which we also call length of the crest, which is L, which is 0.4 meters. Then we have head of the water over the notch, which is given as 20 centimeters, convert into meters, it is 0.2 meters. Then for rectangular portion, CD1 0.62, CD2 is 0.6. So now what all we require is we need to calculate the discharge Q. But I already told you discharge Q is the summation of rectangular portion plus triangular portion. So rectangular portion is quite easy to substitute, but triangular portion we need a theta value. So for that we require tan theta by 2 actually. Okay, so for that consider this part ABC. Any half you can take. So let's consider ABC. So when here at the C, when angle is theta by 2, at D also it will be theta by 2, right? So consider any one half since it's symmetrical. So let's take tan theta by 2. So now we can observe ABC is a right angle triangle with a right angle at B. So let's apply tan. So tan theta by 2. What does tan stand for? It is opposite by adjacent side. So tan theta by 2 will be opposite side for theta by 2 is AB. By what is adjacent side for theta by 2? BC. So tan theta by 2 is AB by BC. Let's see what is AB now. See now AB is equal to the complete top width, which is AE, minus CD. See, CD and BF are equal. Why? Because it's a rectangular portion, opposite sides will be equal. So if CD is 0.4, obviously BF also would be 0.4, correct? Right. So our this distance AB will be the complete top width AE minus BF or CD divided by 2. Okay, you may ask why we are dividing by 2. Say for example, now I already told you CD and BF are equal, right? So BF is also equal to 0.4 meters. What is the complete top width? 1 meter. In this complete 1 meter, when BF is 0.4 meters, how much would be AB and FE? This complete value minus this divided by 2, since we are two halves. That's what I have written here, right? So it is AE minus CD by 2 by what is BC adjacent side? It's nothing but head over the notch, capital H, finish. So by H, so tan theta by 2 equal to 1 minus CD is 0.4 or BF is 0.4 by 2 divided by what is H. So here we are taking H as 0.3. Why? Because we are taking the complete height of the notch. We are not considering head of the water over the notch. We are considering the complete height. Why? Because when I am considering you shouldn't get confused when you are doing this problem. I am repeating, that's why. See, I wrote here H as 0.2 meters. Okay, but this when you are doing for Q, not when you are doing for tan theta by 2. That's why he gave us total height of the notch. Why? Because height of the notch is required when you are doing tan theta by 2. See, always remember, we are doing theta by 2 for the notch, not for the water, correct? We are calculating discharge Q for the water. So remember, since we are doing tan theta by 2, at that time you have to take complete height of the notch. Why? Because theta by 2 is the angle related to notch. But when you are doing discharge, we have to consider 0.2 meters, which is H, which is head of water. Why? Because we are doing discharge for water. So for notch, take the notch values. For water, take the water values. Clear? So by 0.3 will give you 1. So now let's calculate discharge through trapezoidal notch. I already told you it is here I have taken bigger equation, but you can do rectangle separate, triangle separate and add. So if you take up the bigger formula, this is the formula. So 2 by 3 CD1 is given 0.62, L is 0.4 into root 2 into 9.81. See here again, in the place of H I put 0.2, I didn't put 0.3. Why? Because since I'm doing for water, I have to take related to water readings. When I'm doing related to notch, I have to take related to notch readings. Okay, so instead of avoiding all the confusion, you may take here in the place of H or something, you can write here height of the notch, like that you can write and you can do it. So just substitute all the values. We got Q as 0.09084 meter cube per second, so which is 90.84 liters. Just multiply this meter cube into 1000, get in liter per second. So this is how you need to calculate the discharge through trapezoidal notch and the problem. So only thing you have to be careful is when you are doing for tan theta by 2. Tan theta by 2 is related to notch, so substitute notch readings. Discharge is related to water, so substitute water related readings. Okay, so that's all is about this video. Thanks for watching.